Oh, doo doo doo. I like that music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the family with.
Officer Dave.
And Andy Brant Bernard.
He's wearing his Batman shirt. Now there's a TV show and there's a movie out. And
It's
there's
the TV. This is the TV Batman.
The original?
Yes.
the original TV Batman.
Yes.
That's
Adam
pretty
West.
good. All right. Well, I got to run a couple things by you that I ran by the guys in the morning as well. You see this right here? I got to hold it up just right. Okay. You see what I have in my hand there?
You have a Diet Coke.
Did you hear about this, Officer Dave? Is that why you're
I
smiling?
was listening. Yes.
I bought this morning, Andy, on my walk. First of all, I had to escort a few women down the street, a few blocks from here, because there was a guy higher than a kite screaming at people.
Yep.
So they all came to me and asked me if I would escort them down the street so they could get by safely. Because the guy was just ranting about. I couldn't even tell what he was saying. He was just ranting. He was hired in a giraffe's ass, I'm assuming. So anyway, I get him down to where they're going, and he never did go after anybody. He just was screaming at the top of his lungs and threatening people. He threatened some guy in a van. I know that. I saw him do that. But that didn't work out well for him either. But so, I'm like, so I stopped into the convenience store. I figured, you know what? I'm going to have a Diet Coke, get a little caffeine in me so I get a little fired up after, having the. Nothing happened, but still, it's like the fact that you have to escort people past psychopaths. It's really too bad.
You're on yellow alert the whole time. You're
Yellow alert. That's exactly right. So, Andy, I showed you that can, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much did that can of Diet Coke cost me this morning?
It depends on where you went.
And I will tell you that 10 years ago, if I had purchased it in West Palm Beach, Florida, it would have cost, this is 10 years ago, Palm Beach, it would have cost me 50 cents for one can of Coke, which I thought at the time was a lot anyway, because when I was a kid, it was 10 cents.
Mm-hmm.
How much did I pay for one can of Diet Coke this morning?
Oh, where'd you buy it?
At one of those little convenience stores.
Yeah, those are always double the price at least.
$3.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
$3 for one can of Diet Coke. It's like, what?
You said that it's $2 right downstairs here.
Is it really $2?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Honest to God.
it is now.
And of course, you got your governor there bragging about we're going to cut back on this and we're going to cut back on that.
Don't get me started.
He's cutting back 7 cents on $100 purchase.
Mm-hmm.
7 cents you're going to get.
He's going to save the world, Tommy.
God, how much longer can people put up with that?
I don't know.
He was on TV just going over this is going to be phenomenal, and Jesus. 7 cents on $100 purchase you'll save. Yeah, How about if I give you a dime and you shut up? How about that? What do you think?
Oh God! Remember when? I think it was COVID, and they were griping about everything else, and he was calling on Biden to repeal or suspend the gas tax.
Right.
The federal gas tax is only like 22 cents a gallon, I think. Mm-hmm. Minnesota's gas tax,
right?
49 cents a gallon.
50 cents a gallon.
It's like,
let's see. So the federal gas tax is 18.4 cents per gallon. The Minnesota gas tax is 30.6 cents a gallon.
So
combined, it's 49.
Yeah, there you go.
But yes, ours is almost twice the federal tax.
Yep.
And I think
Minnesota loves their taxes.
It might be the highest in the nation.
Why wouldn't it be? We like to set those those boundaries. There you go. Try to catch up with us.
Oh wow, no, it's actually not even close.
Really?
California's is 68 cents a gallon.
Oh my God!
For the state.
When are they going to close that joint down?
No, Illinois 66.
Yeah.
Yep. You live in Chicago, you're going to be paying an extra 66 cents every gallon of gas.
And how about New York City?
New York is actually not very bad, 25 cents.
Oh, so that's not too
bad. Less than ours.
But I did notice that one party was included in all the cities you named with very high taxes.
Makes you think.
They sure do love their taxation.
The lowest is all basically like the South and the mountain states. Although Montana's is actually kind of high, 33.
Yeah, that's high.
What's Florida's?
Florida is 38, 12th.
Those 12th, that's pretty
So
high.
it's relatively high, yeah.
Relatively high is a
Yeah,
good way
actually,
to put it.
Minnesota's is surprisingly low considering we
Kind of
love
mid-range, yeah.
tax so much. It's interesting.
Why did we ever allow them to just take our money because they feel like it? I'll never understand that.
How
You
we
can't
even
just take people's money because you feel like it.
Yeah.
Well, you should move to Alaska. They're the 50th, 8.9 cents a gallon.
Wow.
But your car never starts because it's too cold.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Is where are you going to drive?
Where are you going to drive to?
The roads are
That's the
covered in
problem.
snow all the time.
It's a different breed up there, that's for sure.
No, it
What
sure
the
is.
hell? I got to tell you, honest to God, I had an experience this morning, which is kind of cool. Because, like I said, I go on social media. I go on X now because I get tired. Facebook is just boring to me. I don't know. And people warn me on X that people can be very mean on X. I have noticed that. There's no question about that. They can get very, very mean. Yeah, you did. But I just decided I was going to be straight ahead and not just be nice. I'm going to be nice to people. I don't want to be part of the crabby blah, blah, blah. And it was working out really, really well. You know, can we just do that basically? Just why don't we be a lot more positive, not being so negative? I'm really working hard on, not getting pissed off at everything. So I look at my post this morning on X, and there are a couple of posts I made that I was like, oh, 30,000 reply. Oh, my God, that's unbelievable. I think it was like 3 of them or whatever. It's like 30,000, all the rest of it. I just hopped on there a short time ago, so I got I think a little over 1,000 followers, something like that, because I just kind of went on a few weeks ago. Got a text message from a news reporter in Minnesota. I won't mention her name. I think the world of her. She's a wonderful person. She has 200,000 followers. Like, hey, don't get too jacked up about your 1.2 thousand or your 30,000 followers. She's got 200,000 followers.
Don't break your arm patting yourself in the back there, Tommy boy.
Well, I just started, so maybe I can catch up someday. I'm not really certain of that or whatever. But
Yep.
So what else is going on in the world? Anything any good?
Oh, I watched On Call last night.
And On Call is, what is it?
Tim Walsh.
Oh, the Tim Walsh. Yeah, okay.
And it is phenomenal.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
It is absolutely. It was like I'll give this a shot. And I'm not a cop show guy because
you were telling me that. Yeah.
it's just too many liberties taken, too much BS. And this show takes a few liberties here and there, but oh my gosh, it was just, I was enthralled. I watched 4 episodes, and if I could have kept my eyes open longer, I'd have watched all 8 of them.
So that good.
It was phenomenal.
Well, he was a good guest. He's a good guest to have on.
Yeah, it was
That
really
kind of deal.
good.
Well, I'm glad, but television is kicking movie theaters right in the seeds. I go to a movie theater maybe twice a year now. I used to go almost every weekend.
Yep.
Back in the day, but television is so much better than movie theater movies now. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Because most of the movie theater movies are very political, because that's how Hollywood is. And I don't know why they don't do more of that on TV. Maybe they I guess you got your shows on TV that do that and all the rest of it. But Catherine and I last night, back to back, watched Landman and Lioness, and oh my God, those shows are good.
Okay.
Amazingly good. Which is terrific. You sit at home, you got your... By the way, we ran to Costco yesterday. I said, Catherine, I saw something. She goes, no. I said, what do you mean, no? I didn't even tell you what I saw. She goes, no, but I know you, and we're not doing it. Whatever it is, we're not doing it. Costco has a TV that's 110 inches. The screen, 110-inch screens, $2,300.
Oh,
but it would fill up an entire wall of your house.
Oh.
Yeah, that seems a little excessive.
I'm like, come on, honey. No, we're not doing it.
We're not gonna do that.
So we're not doing. Well, we had a movie theater in our house in Golden Valley, so we got. Well, we did it in Edina too. But those were, while one was a permanent screen, the other one was a drop-down screen. Do you miss having a big screens, Andy? Our TVs are big enough now; it doesn't really matter.
I mean, yeah, TV pictures are so good now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest one we have is a 42.
I think ours is something like that. Yeah, we don't have any gigantic ones.
Yeah.
Why don't
That's
you just
40.
get this Samsung Micro LED 4K TV? It's 110 inches. It's only $150,000.
150,000 for a television.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, not, not a problem. Pay 150 G's to watch television.
Oh, geez.
Okay, well there you. Where do you get it?
A bunch of I think it's for businesses because I've never heard of any of these places. You're not going to get it
Okay.
at Best Buy, that's for sure.
Well, that would make sense. It's for businesses, probably for meetings and things like that. I would guess.
You know, the thing of it is I don't have a wall big enough to put a 110-inch TV on.
Yeah, I mean you're going to
Yeah,
have
I
a
know
window
about
in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, anyway.
You would think so.
I don't know. We got to spend a little time, and Andy, I know you don't give a rat's ass about this, but my God, people are just really pissed off at the Vikings. They won 14 games in the regular season and just got smoked in the playoffs. Why? For 65 years now, I've been putting up with that.
Yep.
60 since I was 7 years old. The Vikings have still not won one Super Bowl in 65 years. Oh, God. Why?
I have friends that were like chewing me out because the Packers lost on Sunday. And I says, there's a very real possibility that the Vikings will play the exact same number of games the Packers did this season. Turned out I was right.
Yep.
There you go. Turned out I was right. No question about it. I don't know. It's really unfortunate because the Twins are not good anymore. They're being sold. Have they been sold yet? Some families trying to buy the team.
Not yet, but I know that they are on the market, and there's a very interested party.
Yeah, with a couple of brothers or something, right?
Yep.
The Mario Brothers?
Yeah, the Mario brothers want to buy the
Ishara or
Twins.
something like that, brothers. I saw.
What is it? Ishtar? It is like Ishtar or something like that.
It's a Ishara or something.
Ishara.
Yeah.
Ishbia.
Ishbia. What do they own now, Andy?
Let's see.
They're part owners of another team, I think.
The Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, the
again,
Phoenix Suns, which are basketball,
Mm-hmm.
and Phoenix Mercury, which is also basketball.
That's the
They're the
women's team.
women's one.
Yep.
Yes.
the women. Here's what I love about that. When the Pohlads bought the Twins, and then immediately won 2 World Series, 87 and 91,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, my God, we finally have owners that haven't touched the team since.
Yep.
They won 2 World Series and haven't won anything
Nope.
since 1991 again. So you're 34 years, haven't won a damn thing. I just don't get it. You're billionaires. Why do you care? Why don't we get Elon Musk to buy the Twins? He's worth like $500 billion.
He doesn't seem super interested in sports.
Yeah, I don't think he
No,
is.
I think
He
you're
wants to
probably
build them
right.
rocket ships, man.
Yep.
And those ugly trucks.
And play Diablo 4.
I have a question for you on that. This is
Minnesota
for both.
Twins are worth somewhere in the range of $1.5 billion.
$1.5 billion.
So I mean, even for someone like Musk, $1.5 billion is a pretty big investment.
Yep. Tommy,
Well-
you can write the check.
Well, I will tell you what, there was a time many, many years ago before, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but Rick Bourne and I were hanging out with our wives one night, and he was trying to talk me into investing with him and buying the Twins.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe at the time the Twins were being sold for like $75 million. When would that have been, Andy? 75. Let's say I kicked in 10% of it, $7.5 million. I'll go to the bank, give me $7.5 million so I can invest in the Twins. What would that be worth now? About, it's got to be $5-6 billion, I would guess. I don't know how much it'd be worth.
Well, the Pohlads bought the Twins in '84 for $44 million.
God, yeah, so it was $75 million. That was right then.
So it would have been like, shortly after that, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Late '80s, maybe.
And now they're worth $1.5 billion.
Somehow, despite not winning ever.
Yeah, exactly right. They don't win.
You can't say ever. They did have the 2.
Yeah,
They
30
had the
years
two.
ago they did win.
because you can say ever when you're talking about the Vikings because they've never won anything.
And yet, let's see, how much are the Vikings worth?
Probably $4 billion, I would guess.
Yeah, just about 3.9.
Yeah, there you go. I would have guessed it at $4 billion.
The
And they have
interesting thing-
never ever won a World Series.
The interesting thing is,
their
their brand is only worth $200 million.
That's it?
Really?
Well, it's because it's one of those teams where it's like, who gives a crap?
I suppose. I love the Twins. The Twins won 87. It built my KQRS career.
Well, yeah.
The fact that they won those World Series in the second year I was there, and then again in the fifth year I was there, sixth year, whatever it was.
Yep.
Because I predicted in 1987 they were going to win the World Series.
Yep.
Before the season even started, I said they're going to win the World Series this year. And I remember on television, Gary Gaetti turned to me and he said, "How did you know we were going to win the World Series? You picked us to win the World Series before our first game even." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, how'd you know we were going to win the World Series?" And I said, "Because I predict they're going to win the World Series every year."
Yeah.
So that was the reason I knew about
The Nostradamus method. Just make 1,000 predictions, and when 5 of them come true, everyone's impressed.
That's exactly the way it was, too.
Pop quiz for you. What's the least valuable NFL team?
Least valuable NFL team. God, that's going to be a tough one. Would it be... God, where...
When I
Least
say it,
valuable.
I think you'll... even I was like, yeah, that tracks.
Jaguars or somebody, maybe?
The Jaguars are low, but they're not the lowest.
Okay.
Here we go. What is it?
The Detroit Lions.
Really?
They might win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, then they're going to go way up because...
Right now they're worth
They've been crap forever, and I know that.
terrible.
But they're tied for value with the Cincinnati Bengals, which,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals were a group in the 80s.
Yes, they were.
Wow.
80s.
I think they're still
All
together.
black and
actually.
Egyptian. Wasn't that the Bengals?
Are they still together? Yes, they are.
We went right from football to the Bengals. A good segue right there. A really good segue.
Well, how come we don't have any teams called like the Egyptians or something like that?
Oh, you name anything now. It has anything to do with ethnicity or skin color, whatever. You're a racist prick.
Exactly.
That's true. How about the Mummies?
We lost the Redskins because of that.
How about the Memphis Mummies?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sounds
but
like an XFL team.
Yeah.
The Commanders is a terrible.
The Commanders.
Horrible.
Ugh. Whatever.
See, I like the XFL team name scheme where they're just like over the top and stupid.
Mhm.
Like
The Arlington Renegades,
the Renegades.
the Vegas Vipers,
Oh, the Vipers.
the Seattle Sea Dragons.
Oh, ish. Sea Dragons. What a terrible name that is.
On the sea.
So what would it be?
Could be
The
regular dragons.
Minnesota Snowballs? What would it be?
I don't think Minnesota has an XFL team.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. If they did, it would be the Snowballs.
Well, they
wouldn't it?
used
Or
to have
Snowstorm.
the Pike
The Pike?
As-
Or the Pike.
when
Yeah,
they-
that's right.
when they had a arena team.
Yep.
What would it be? The Vikings are kind of like they would fit in the XFL, but they're already taken. So,
hmm
what's another like Norwegian badass thing? The Leif Eriksons.
That's a
No, the
lot.
Leaf.
That's a lot to spill off the tongue.
Well, so is the Sea Dragons. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess
The Sea Dragons. Ish. What a horrible name.
the snowplows or something.
Minnesota
Minnesota.
Snowplows.
Exactly. How about the Minnesota smile in your face, stab you in the back? How about that? That'd be pretty
Now
good.
that's a little too long, I would say.
A little too long of a name. You might be right about that.
The
I
Lutefisk. That boy Charlie.
Ugh.
And the Lutefisk, that'd be good.
I've
the
still
Minnesota
never
Lutefisk.
tasted it. I don't know. One
I
day
never have
I'm
either.
sure I will, but I'm sure I won't like it.
Yeah, I'm sure I don't want to eat fish that was soaked in lye.
And
Yep.
lie. I realized I actually did taste it once, and it is horrendously bad.
Really?
I'm sure.
It's terrible. Ugh.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, jellyfish. It tastes like gasoline. Boy, that's a
Mild,
good one.
slightly fishy flavor with a jelly-like texture and a slightly alkaline taste. I
No, I'm good.
Ish.
don't know.
How about a little tuna? A little star-kissed.
Ethan has this. It's called a Tony box. It's basically like the modern. It's the Gen Alpha equivalent of like a cassette player, or I don't know what you guys used. Edison cylinder player.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
You were
was.
kids.
No question.
But so basically, how it works is it's this box, and you have these little plastic figurines, and you put a figurine on it, and then it'll play stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got a Winnie the Pooh one, so he puts that on, and it plays the Winnie the Pooh theme, and then it plays like this guy telling the story of the blustery day and all those classic Winnie the Pooh stories. And one of them is like a Christmas Mickey Mouse where he goes to different places and sees how they celebrate Christmas, and he loves that one. And one of them's Sweden, and they talk about how they always eat lutefisk at Christmas. And I'm always like, Christmas dish, huh?
Ish.
Because like I've
Yes.
never known anyone who actually ate it. Although I think doesn't Dan's family eat it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Is it a Christmas thing for them?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think it is. But I had it once. I had one bite of it, and it's absolutely horrendous. I just can't. But oh, there, Nana must be back home.
Burp.
There you go. But in any case, I want to do a thing now, Andy, where I want you to talk to Officer Dave, and then I will be Ethan. Okay.
Oh,
So
Yep,
pretend
I know what you're gonna do.
pretend you're calling Officer Dave, and then I will be Ethan. Go ahead.
Hello, Dave. I would.
Dad, I want to go for a walk outside. Can we watch television, Dad? Could I have some lunch? He will not stop talking while I'm on the phone with
He
Andy.
hates it when you're on the phone.
He just hates it when you're on the phone, Andy. It's very funny. He has all these demands
Yep.
whenever Andy's on the phone. It's just, God, I love that kid. Is he 7 feet tall yet?
He actually hasn't grown in quite some time.
Oh, he hasn't?
He's in a lull.
He is, but I don't know. He's due for a growth spurt, I think. Although he's also not, because he's already like I don't know if I've told on the air, but he has a pair of pajamas that are 5T that he fits. And for those without kids who don't know what that means, 5T means the size of a 5-year-old.
Yep.
He is a 3-year-old.
I'm going to be looking up to that kid.
Yeah,
someday.
I don't know.
Oh, he's got some shoulders on him, too. He's got Officer Dave, you got some broad shoulders. I think he's probably going to be about your size, I would guess.
Yeah, I'll be looking up at Ethan. There's
For
no
his
doubt.
size, he's very, very strong.
Oh, he is, absolutely.
He's like an ant. He can lift 10 times his own body weight
yep.
or whatever.
I don't want to hear this. I want to go outside, Dad. I can't imagine when Colin is 3 and he's 5 or 6, whatever. Those two going out. Oh my God, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, we're not sure if we're going to get a home improvement situation where the two oldest boys are just the same and always constantly breaking everything and wrestling each other, or if we're going to get more like a one and the other kind of thing, where you got the crazy one and then you got the quiet one.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
I
it
would
does
like
happen.
a quiet one. But you can't
See how that
choose.
works.
well, you do that, you make Colin a middle child, then he'll become the quiet.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Don't tell Alex this, but did you hear what Fawn said to her the other night? This is true story. She had to do her homework. and
Yeah, she said that on the air.
She did. Good, because I thought she did, but I wanted to make sure. But she was making a little dinner, doing all the rest of it, and then Fawny had to do her homework. And Fawn said, "What?" She said, "You have to do your homework. I need a new family." She just wants to leave the family behind.
At 8
So
years
she
old,
doesn't have
I'm already doing that.
Just because I got to do my homework.
to do my homework. I want nothing to do with you. Get away from me.
It always makes me think of that Everybody Loves Raymond episode where I don't remember the mom's name, but Raymond's mom finds like a diary of Raymond's, and she's like reading out loud, trying to guilt him. She's like, "Look what you wrote here. I hate my mother." And he's like, "I was 10 years old, Mom."
He wrote it in code. I hat my mother.
Yep.
Yep.
E-hat.
Yep. I know what I'm talking about.
I E-hat my
I
mother.
love that show. I still love that show. It's on constantly on Family or Freeform or
Oh, yeah? I haven't seen it in,
Oh my god!
God,
No,
20
everybody
years.
loves Raymond.
Yes, the hilarious thing about this is, and why I just absolutely love this show. My mother and father argued exactly like Frank and Marie.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Frank and Marie, that's their
Yep.
names. Yep. I always loved Frank. He was the best character on the show, I think.
And my brother, I love my brother. But he was my mother's favorite.
He was Raymond.
He was Raymond, and of course, what was Robert?
Mm-hmm.
A cop, and the one
That's true.
left out of everything.
The big guy. Yeah.
God, what a great show.
Mirrors my family dynamic far too closely.
But they were Italian, right?
Yep.
So,
well, we're Polish,
But
so
yeah, I don't know.
Polish German. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
It all works out in the end. What? I was trying to think. He's in a new show, but he's a
Brad
apparently-
Garrett,
No, not Brad Garrett.
Ray Romano.
Yeah.
Ray Romano,
I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
He's
like
in a new
Ice Age,
show.
I think is the last thing.
and he's a
Irish.
bad guy.
Last thing I saw.
Let's see. Somewhere in Queens. That's 2022.
No, he's in something right now.
Fly Me to the Moon. He was in that apparently.
No, he's in a series right now, and I can't
That's
remember
a
the name. of it.
series.
Yeah.
Celebrity IO. Probably not that. No Good Deed. Bookie.
Yes, I think it is No Good Deed. I think it is. He's a very bad guy in it.
It's a dark comedy. 3 families vying to buy the same house. And he plays some guy. Oh, he's the owner of the house.
The owner of the house, yeah. And he's got an edge to him, which is he's a hell of an actor, actually.
He's got
damn good.
a little range to him. Yeah.
Indeed, he does. So, and do you? I mean, we talked about it this morning a little bit, but I literally have a hard time going to the movie theater now because television is so good, and movies are not as good as they used to be because they've gotten too touchy about politics and stuff like that.
Too political. I agree.
Too political. But I mean, broadcast television is there a better show on TV than Lioness or Landman? Or you go down the list, there are like 20 shows right now that are phenomenal. Somebody brought up the one in Detroit. What the hell is it? The Kingstown, Mayor of Kingstown. You ever seen that show?
I have not. I don't get Paramount.
Phenomenal. You don't get Paramount, you better pick up the pace bell because they got all the good shows.
I know, that's what I'm understanding. But when my little brown-eyed German girl is in charge of the
Oh, yeah.
we don't get a lot of extra stuff.
I suppose that's true. I suppose that is true. But my God, these TV shows are just. You watch any TV, Andy?
I mean, kind of. Right now
Yeah.
we're going through Scrubs still. It's been like, I think, half a year, and we're still, I think, maybe halfway through it. So,
You're still scrubbing it up?
well, yeah, we don't get a whole lot of time to watch TV.
Yeah, that's true.
So- there's
That is
that.
true, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been watching Scrubs, and that's about it.
God, is there a holiday coming up? I'm going to buy Paramount for Officer Dave for a Christmas gift or something.
Well, that's a while away,
yeah,
roughly a year.
yeah, and my birthday is 3 weeks before it, so we're kind of screwed that way.
No.
So
So it's
Why are
11
so
months.
many people in Minnesota born in December?
think
Yeah,
about
they are.
when is
I know, but it's,
Conception.
Valentine's Day.
it seems to be like a specifically Minnesota thing, though. I don't know.
What else are you going to do in
Maybe
the
not.
middle of winter and spring
That's-
when it's raining every day?
That's true. Or when it's going to be minus 15, like it is tomorrow, or Monday night.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard the weather's going to be just dreadful.
Minus
Actually,
15 real temperature. So the
Mhm.
wind chill, I cannot even imagine what it's going to be.
Yep. It's going to be brutal.
I will tell you what, down here, it's been very, very cloudy and kind of rainy too. It's not
Yeah,
been a great. It's
horrible.
not been a great winter here.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Somehow we
Ugh.
dodged all the snow that went through the middle of this.
Yeah, we
Good nation.
have not very much snow.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah. There's not much on the ground at all.
I wonder why that is.
It's been either too hot or too cold for
Yep.
snow.
Oh, so that it literally is it.
Snow requires like just below freezing is the perfect snow temperature,
Mhm.
but it hasn't
Yeah.
been that. It's either been 0 or like 35.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to run this by you guys and see if you get this right or not, or your feelings on this. Here's a dirty little secret. Parents do have a favorite child. Now, how many children do you have, Officer Dave?
I have 3.
3. Okay, so parents do have a favorite child, and if you're wondering if it's you, maybe you are the chosen one. A study analyzed data from over 19,000 participants and found that parents do treat their children differently, and the way, though, they choose their favorites is more systematic than you might think. 5 interesting takeaways. Now, do you think you were the family favorite?
I know I was not.
Well,
You
yeah,
were
you
not.
were talking about that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Your
that's
brother
true.
was
Yeah.
Raymond, and you
Yep.
were
I was Robert.
Robert.
And you were Robert. That's very true. I mean, Andy, it's tough with only being 2 kids, you and Alex. There's really no favorite because one's a boy and one's a girl. So what are
Yeah,
you going
that's
to?
the dynamics are a lot different.
A lot different in that family. Okay, so here we go. I wonder if I probably should start at the bottom here. These are signs about who the favorite kid in the family would be, and if any of them fit, we'll find out. Many aspects of parental favoritism are more subtle than you think. For example, in some cases, parents acknowledge treating one child more favorably, but those children themselves didn't report noticing any differences in treatment.
No, I don't think kids would notice, especially
I think you're probably
below
right.
the age of like maybe 10.
Yeah.
At that
Yep.
point, I think they could probably figure it out. But yeah,
Birth order matters, but not for favoritism. Parents tend to give older siblings more authority, like later curfews or more freedom to make decisions, but they are not more likely to favor older siblings just because they were first. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what you would. 3 more. Agreeable children are more likely to be favored. These are the kids who show cooperation and consideration in family stuff. Basically, those who make parents' lives easier. Well, you're going to be the favorite if you make their life easier. That's just a given, isn't it?
yep.
If you don't cause your parents a lot of problems and headaches and all the rest of it, you're going to be the favorite,
Yep.
I would assume. I had a couple, and I won't say who it is or whatever, but there are a couple of kids in my family that worked hard to be the favorite. I mean, they worked really hard at
A
it.
lot of sucking up.
In my eyes, I would say it was sucking up, yes. Parents favor children who demonstrate responsibility and organization in their daily lives, like completing their homework on time and keeping their rooms clean. And finally, both mothers and fathers tend to favor daughters anyway.
I don't doubt it.
Do they still think that daughters need more protection than boys do?
I think it's a combination of a lot of different things.
Well, there's a lot of things. We had 2 boys and 1 girl, and Annie wanted to be treated like her brothers. And I'd roughhouse with the boys, and then Annie would join in, and the next thing you know, she's crying.
Yeah.
It's like, this is why you get treated differently. If you're gonna cry,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna wrestle with you. It's come on.
I suppose, yeah, I suppose that's probably a deal. Yeah, Andy, you don't think we showed any favoritism, your mom and I did, do you?
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have noticed when I was a kid.
Yeah, so there
I
you
was
go.
definitely the difficult child, so there's that.
You were not a difficult child. It was fine. Why do you think you were a difficult child?
I mean, I had a lot of rage fits and stuff like that.
So you followed in the footsteps of your dad?
Non-difficult children don't get put on Ritalin and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I suppose. That's... Oh, God, I just saw something. I almost vomited. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Okay, then.
Progresso is selling chicken noodle soup cough drops.
Yep, I saw that.
That sounds terrible.
Yep.
I like chicken noodle soup and I like cough drops, but not together. I don't... Chicken noodle soup cough drops? I'd have to have one. Maybe they do something special. They're really good or something. I don't get it. Why would you want chicken noodle soup cough drops?
I don't know.
Makes very little sense. I like the licorice ones.
Well,
I
I
always
mean,
like
I
the
think-
Smith Brothers licorice. They were
I think the
great.
idea is chicken noodle soup is good for colds, so there you
Right,
go.
that's true. Yeah,
Noodle
that's
soup
true.
on the go. But you just do what people used to do and put it in a thermos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So, what are you going to do? But in any case, so now when did you say that 15 below is coming?
Monday night.
Oh, it is Monday night
But,
it's going to be.
Sunday night, I think, is going to be almost as crappy.
Yep.
Let's
Oh, is it?
It's going to be
13 below.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because you
And
got Monday
tomorrow
off.
night is going to be minus 11. So it's, basically from tonight until Wednesday, it's going to be
Brutally cold.
frigid,
Yep.
especially
Frigid.
at night.
Now, Andy, you do know that we're not doing a show on Monday
Right.
because it's Martin Luther King Day, so we don't work on Martin Luther King Day. honoring one of the great men of America, no question about that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew so they didn't show up at the door and go, why is no one here? I don't get it.
Yep.
Mm.
No.
Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? I
Yep.
don't know. It just, oh my God, this just popped up. I think somebody just sent this to me. I don't know if I can read it or oh, this might be audio. Comedian Jim Gaffigan grew up in the Midwest. He is on there. Oh, he's talking about the brutal winters. Apparently, Gaffigan goes on and on. I don't want to play the audio because whatever, but yeah, he's talking about the very thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Brutal winters in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the last time it's been minus 15. I don't think it got there last year.
Oh, didn't it?
Let's see.
I have no idea.
Maybe AI will be able to tell me. Looks like 2 years ago they did,
Oh, it did. Okay.
but I don't know.
I remember some very, very, very harsh winters when I was a little kid. I'll tell you that. My God.
Well, I remember, so for how many years I basically skipped winter because I went down to Florida and I stayed down there either with you or I had an apartment for a little while.
Oh, it's still called Andy's Building by
Mhm.
everybody. There's Andy's Building.
Yep. And then after years of that, I met Melissa and I stayed here for the winter.
Mhm.
And that winter happened to be the polar vortex.
Oh.
I think the coldest winter on record or close was the first winter I experienced in like 10 years.
Oh.
Welcome to
Very bad timing.
Yeah, honest to God. I remember friends would come down. They go, so Andy's down here. Does he live with you? I said, no, he's got his own place. So we'd go for walks and walk by, and he goes, okay, you see that window there? That's Andy's place. And they said, what? I said, that's Andy's apartment right there. They said, so he comes down here and he has a view of the ocean from his apartment.
Wow.
Oh, and Andy just nods his head like, yes, I did.
Everyone's got a view of the apartment in or a view of the ocean in West Palm Beach.
Oh, not everyone. I can guarantee you that. Some people do not. But yeah, the blue building is the Andy building. That's just how it is.
Yep. On Ivernia.
On Ivernia, that's exactly right. So, I wanted to ask you that. I was thinking about this the other day, and this is a little inside baseball, but I know you loved going to Makeup's. They moved, right?
Yeah, they moved like a block. I don't know why.
One block, yeah. Well, because they're building another skyscraper across the street from here.
Oh,
I mean,
course.
there are going to be so many 25, 30-story buildings around here. It's going to be unbelievable.
Yep.
But people are moving here. Let me run this by you. This is not, people go through these situations in their own neighborhood so you can understand this. But Andy, if you go out on Palm Beach Island now, and you don't get off that island by, I would say at the latest 2:30, I had to drive out to Publix, or Publix as some people call it, but I still don't understand that. But I had to go grab something, and I said, oh, I'll go get that. And Kathy said, don't go to the one on the island. And I said, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's only 2:30. So I go there, leave 2:30. I get there. I get done shopping at 3:15. I finally got home at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
The bridges were
That bridge,
all
yep.
so backed up. I was on the island for an hour and a half sitting in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's moving to Florida now on the East Coast because they're sick to death of the politics and the taxes and all the rest of it.
Oh yeah, they sure are.
It's like, my God, but an hour and a half. And by the way, the next day I walked to Publix. It's a 2-mile walk, so it's much easier. Just walk over,
Honestly,
grab
yeah,
your
it
grocery
is.
bags, walk back.
West Palm Beach's population has gone up 25% in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, I bet you it's gone up more than that now. Those probably the latest. I mean, honest God, Andy, you wouldn't believe the traffic is just backed up like there's no tomorrow.
No, I would believe it.
It's a whole different deal, whole different feeling. That's all I
Just
have
go
to
to the
say.
Publix up on it's not Olive.
No, it's not on Olive. It's on.
Is it on Dixie?
Rosemary. It's on Rosemary.
Oh yeah, it's on Rosemary. That's right. That's the one I probably walked to that Publix every day while we were down there.
You know what's hilarious about that is you mentioned going to that one, and that again, this is West Palm Beach, or whatever. If I were going to go to Publix, I wouldn't go to that one because some unsavory characters. I'm like, Okay, they're not billionaires. Sorry, they think that everybody who doesn't have $80 billion is unsavory. It's like it's a Publix. It's a wonderful place. Calm down, for
Well, I
Christ's
mean, there
sake.
is definitely a growing homeless problem in that area.
Well, not even. Well, it's getting a lot better because Ron DeSantis said there'll be no more of that. But you
Oh,
still
good.
do find people sleeping out on, out on
Mm-hmm.
the coast out there.
Sure do.
The walkway. They were like, I went for a 3.5 mile walk this morning. I saw like 3 people, something like that. Which reminds me, I want to run this by you guys anyway, particularly you, Officer Dave, being
Yes,
a
sir.
police officer. I went for my walk this morning, and you know these electric bikes now?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to do something because these people are so irresponsible. It is unbelievable. I'm walking along, like I always walk to the far right of the sidewalk just to get out of everybody's way.
Yep.
And I am really glad that I do that because a guy went by me this morning, and you cannot hear those bikes. They don't
Nope.
make any noise at
Nope.
all. That guy went by me on the sidewalk doing about 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
It's like,
Yep.
you're going to kill somebody. What do you, didn't say on your left, didn't say, hey, I'm
Didn't say
behind you,
anything.
said absolutely nothing, just whizzed by me. And if I had been distracted and moved to the left 1 foot, he would have smoked me.
Oh man.
Why is that illegal? That can't be legal, Officer Dave.
It depends on city ordinances more than a natural common sense law, unfortunately. Here it is illegal. Every road has a bike lane, whether it's implied or marked.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
You know, bicycles are not supposed to be on the sidewalk.
No, they're not.
And it depends down there. I don't know what the rules are down there in Florida as far as bikes on the roadway, but
Well, there are bike lanes everywhere, but
Yeah.
nobody ever uses them.
nobody uses. Well, that's like, they built this trail that runs from Rogers all the way down to Lake Minnetonka,
Oh, yeah, yep.
all along County Road 19.
That's a great trail.
It's a great trail. Unfortunately, the bicyclists don't use it because they get tickets for speeding on the bike lane or on the trail.
It's just unbelievable.
So they're riding down, they're riding down 19. And I don't have a problem with a bicyclist. I don't. The problem is that they don't give two rats rips about the rules.
Yeah.
And now Minnesota, in our wonderful, let's just change the rules for everybody. Now bicyclists do not need to stop at stop signs.
They don't?
Nope.
Oh, that's a terrible
It's a
idea.
horrible idea.
It is a horrible idea. It's just, are you freaking kidding me? They don't, I've stopped bicyclists. I've written citations to bicyclists for blowing stop signs
Right.
when I was a cop, because at that time they had to follow the same rules. And I pulled over a freaking troop of 30 bicycles one time.
30. Oh, yeah.
30. I
They
stopped
love
the
doing
whole
that.
group because they all blew the stop sign. And it turned out they were a bicycle club from some nationwide club thing.
Oh, okay.
And as I was talking to kind of the leader of the group, she was like, you know what? You're right. We're ambassadors to this, and we're out here breaking the rules. We really better mind tend to. Nowadays, they change it so bikes don't have to follow those same rules. It's just,
Why?
Well,
What-
someone's definitely going to get killed because of that.
yeah, of course they will.
Blowing through a stop sign, yeah, that's yeah.
They just have to check. That's all they have to do, but they don't have to stop pedaling.
Mm.
I don't understand why you're endangering the bike rider by allowing them to do that.
Yeah.
You are, yeah.
That makes no sense to me. Why is anything okay? That's what I'd like to know. Or is any law okay with you?
No, because
Jesus.
you can exceed the speed limit in Minnesota now.
What do you mean?
By how much?
10 miles per hour.
10. Wow.
If you are on a two-lane, two-way road, the speed limit is 55 miles per hour or greater, and you want to pass someone.
Mm.
You can exceed and it is safe and legal. If you're following somebody and they're trucking along at 55 miles an hour, but you want to be in front, you can safely, as long as it's legal to pass, you can pass them at 65 miles per hour, but you have to get back to 55 miles per hour. Do you really think people are going to get back to 55 miles per hour?
No, I do not.
No.
I do
So
not.
that law came into effect. What was his name? Rukavina from Virginia
Oh yeah, yeah.
was up there around his constituent's home, whatever, and he got a speeding ticket because he was passing someone. So the very next session, he comes in and introduces this bill. So now the speed limit means nothing anymore.
Lovely.
So
I just couldn't they at least like one of those little chimes. When I was a kid, my mom always made me put one of those little chimey things where you just put it go ding ding ding. You know what I'm talking about, right? The
Yep.
bike. And if you're going to go pass somebody on the right, left, wherever, you would just ding 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 a few times, like 25 feet away from them. They'd hear you coming and they'd get out of the way. Why, there are little horns on there. Bikes had little horns on them. You just honk the horn and they'd know you're coming. Why did they stop doing that?
because that sounds dumb. I
It's
don't know.
I'm too cool to do that. Is that what you're
Exactly.
saying?
That's more stuff. But now they got to have all these brackets.
You're supposed
For
to put a
their cell
baseball
phones.
card in the spokes.
I love
That way
that.
people can hear you coming.
No, it's an impression of a motorcycle. That's what it really is.
Definitely sounds just like a motorcycle.
Hey, if that sounds like it, that's another thing that came up last night. I know we only got a couple of minutes left here, but Catherine brought it up. Why are some motorcycles so incredibly loud?
That's what people like. They want to
Yeah.
be loud.
So, I mean,
Yep.
do they make them that loud on purpose?
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll take and they'll run a pipe up the exhaust pipe
Mm-hmm.
to blow out all the baffles.
Oh, really?
Basically a straight pipe.
Oh my God, it's so incredibly loud. Why? First of all, if you're riding on it, you want something that loud between your legs for 50 miles?
You think they'd get hearing damage riding those
The
things?
thing of it is 99% of the sound is behind you.
That's true.
Oh, so you ride away from it, I
Yep.
suppose, yeah.
So the poor sap behind you gets all the
Mhm.
noise and hearing damage. So yeah,
I understand.
it's it's just bad.
Yep.
I never understood it, but
I don't know.
It's
It's
the way
like,
it is.
It's like rolling coal, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen someone roll coal?
Yep.
I have not.
What's
in
rolling
person?
coal?
So,
What is that?
a diesel engine? If you get crappy gas, crappy fuel, a lot of black smoke.
Mhm.
Oh, I see what
So
you're
they'll
saying.
pull
Okay.
up next to somebody, a bicyclist or a pedestrian or something, and they will just floor it, and all that black smoke comes rolling out.
Yeah.
And they call that rolling coal.
Yep.
Rolling coal.
They
Okay.
put
that's what
like
it is.
bad gas in their engines on purpose so they can
Mhm.
do it, which is
Yep.
bad for the engine.
Yep.
They put like the wrong octane or something in there. I
It's
don't know exactly.
the cetane rating in diesel.
Oh,
fuel.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they put the wrong fuel in there, and then they go roll coal.
Yep.
And then it probably costs them $50,000 to drop a new engine in there.
Yep.
So
Probably true.
not very
All right.
smart.
Any closing words from either one of the two of you?
Not really.
Stay inside.
Yeah.
Stay inside until Wednesday.
Do not freeze to death. That's a good nod.
No doubt.
Again, we do not have either show on Monday because it's Martin Luther King Day, but we will be back on Tuesday. We look forward to it, and we will see you then.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one.
You too.
Got a picture in my pocket reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talking